What's up, world-renowned family? Neil Oates Jr. here. And if you are like myself or many other entrepreneurs or small business owners, you know there is this thing that many of us chase that just seems to always elude us, and that is work-life balance. So we're going to look at a few ways that you as an entrepreneur can actually attain work-life balance. And the first one is prioritization and productivity. So you want to try to identify ways that you can make sure that your priorities are in order. Now, I can't tell you what those are, but probably we want to make sure that health is in there, mental health and stability. We probably want to include relationships, whether those are going to be social relationships or some type of intimate relationship with a loved one, family member, or the such. Because once we have our priorities in place, it does allow us to focus on the second P, and that's going to be productivity. So we want to always seek after being productive, not just busy. And so as an entrepreneur, I would ask you, when it comes to productivity, how productive are you? Do you know your dollar per hour rate? Or do you know what your dollar producing or income producing activities are? If you haven't honed in on those when it comes to productivity, it's likely going to be very hard and almost impossible to make sure that our priorities are in place. Now, my mentor many years ago told me, don't prioritize my schedule. The challenge for the best of us is to schedule our priorities. So let me ask you, are you prioritizing your schedule, letting everything get there and then saying what's number 1, 2, 3, or 4? Or are you looking at your schedule, your planner, your calendar, and saying, let me put the important stuff on there first? Because if we look at our priorities and then focus on productivity, then we'll find ourselves better able to find that work-life balance. Now, number 2 are boundaries. Now, it's very likely that you did not get into this entrepreneurial game for people to tell you no and for you to tell yourself no. But boundaries are going to make a world of difference. So much so, behind productivity and priorities, I believe the boundaries you set for your life and the priorities and what you allow into your life from others is going to have one of the biggest differences on anything you do and your ability to have some semblance of balance. So what does your boundary or your boundary system? I call it my no system. And so there are going to be other videos talking about no system. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel so you can see more of that no system coming up. But ultimately, it comes down to this. If when asked, should you do something or will you participating in something? If the answer is not hell yes, then the answer is, you've guessed it, hell no. So we want to have boundaries in place with that no system. Maybe some boundaries that you could have even as an entrepreneur and a business owner are going to be actual work hours. Do you have a start and stop time? Do you have days off that you're going to implement? Do you have certain times or no-go zones, some non-negotiables? For instance, for me, Thursday night after 7:30, that is a no-go zone because that's when my wife and we spend our date night time together. So we want to make sure that in life and in business that we have our boundaries. Now, on the flip side of those boundaries, it could be telling your kids, your significant other, or your partner, if you are working from home like so many of us are, that, you know, this is my prospecting time. When the door is closed, you can't just come in. No, I can't find your sock or iron your shirt, or I can't walk the dog or run errands, because the people who love us oftentimes are our biggest hindrance to the success. And the reason why we are doing this thing are going to be those that we love, but they also could contribute to the reason why we don't achieve those goals. Now, this 3D system, when we're talking about this work-life balance, something that one of my coaches taught me almost a decade ago, but the 3D is going to be for delete, delegate, and then double down. So I guess it could be 4D, but 3D sounds better. So what in your life can you delete? What are you currently doing that should not be done at all? Like we all know, browsing YouTube, looking at cat videos, or IG, maybe you're TikToking, maybe you've gotten really good at doing something that has no impact on the bottom line of your business. So those are going to be the activities that we want to delete altogether. The other D in the 3D system is going to be delegate. What is important for your business or your life that maybe you don't have to do? For instance, we're going work and life balance. Cutting your grass. Would your time be better utilized if you hired a lawn company or someone to wash your car? Maybe even have someone sit your kids, like babysit, maybe walk your dogs. I don't know what it is. On the business side of it, should you be doing your digital marketing or social marketing? So should someone else be doing your accounting? Right? We need to know the numbers. We need to know the information. We need to know what's going on in our business. But does that mean that we have to be the one doing it? Not necessarily. Maybe it could be delegated. So after we have deleted, delegated, double down are going to be those 3 to 5 key areas in your business that really move the needle. This is that Pareto principle, the 80-20. What are the 20% of your activities that are going to yield the greatest result, those 80%? Or that 20% of your client base that's going to yield the greatest results. So we want to double down in those areas. If we will delete, delegate, and double down, we'll find ourselves doing less, having better success in less time, doing fewer activities, and with more sanity, therefore achieving a higher quality of work and life. At the same time, while it might not be balanced, it will be more of a controlled imbalance. Here, self-care practices. How well are you taking care of yourself? And I don't mean do you pamper yourself and go out to the spa or to the range or whatever it is, but what self-care practices do you have? Do you know that you are the most important person, not only in your life, but in the lives of those who look to you for guidance, those who look to you for answers? Now, oftentimes we hear as entrepreneurs that we're the captain of the ship. Well, I want to disagree with that right now, and I want to give you permission to disagree with that as well. I want you to know that you are not the captain of the ship. You are the ship. If you go down, everything around us goes down as well. There is no life raft for you. So we want to make sure that maybe you have some type of spiritual care that you're doing, some mental health, some physical care. Are you getting up and moving your body? Are you drinking enough water? Do you take retreats out into Mother Nature? Or maybe you go to the gun range or to the spa. Whatever it is, we want to have some type of self-care practices in place, and we want to make sure that that is a priority and that stuff gets into our calendar before the wows of life come in at us. And then finally, flexibility and adaptability. As an entrepreneur, we know that things change. We know that as quick as we put our priorities down on paper, something happened, life happens. But we want to remain flexible, and we want to be able to adapt to whatever it is that's going to face us in personal life and in business. The better we can do that, the easier we're going to roll with the punches as they come, and ultimately we're going to find that work and life are in somewhat of a balance. I look forward to hearing from you saying, Neil, I think I've got this thing figured out. Well, that'll happen just before a little, little monkey wrench gets thrown into the mix. So I want to know in the comment section, let me know which of these 5 is going to be the key that you implement immediately. Is it going to be the prioritization and productivity, the boundaries, the 3D system, coming back with the self-care practices, or being flexible and adaptable? I would love to hear it because I am here for you. I want you to know that I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. I would love to see your likes, your comments. Share this with someone who is maybe out of balance and they would be indebted to you for a very, very long time. I know that I am. Thank you for watching this video. And I must remind you that I love you, God loves you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And until the next time I see you or you see me, don't be average, be world renowned. Peace.